What's up, everybody? Thank you for jumping on to Steelers to Go, your daily to-go cup of Pittsburgh Steelers news and analysis. I'm Noah Strackbein. Find us on youtube.com/All Steelers Talk or anywhere you get your podcast. Today, we're answering 5 questions that you guys sent me. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tossing a question my way about the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to start it off here with my boy, Brandon Verastro. Go follow Brandon on Twitter if you have not. He hosts a number of really great podcasts. Me and Brandon go way back to when we were just little kids, best friends growing up. Started the podcast game together. So shout out to him for that, for real. So much appreciation for you, my dude. The Red Shirt podcast, throw it all the way back to my Notre Dame days. What's the realistic expectations for Chase Claypool given the quarterback scenario this year? And also a little throwback, remind the fans what Willie Parker did back in the day. Willie Parker was the dude, first of all. I still remember standing in my grandmother's kitchen the day that I realized that his career with the Pittsburgh Steelers was likely over. There might have been tears in my eyes. I don't remember, but I remember that it hit me hard as like a 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid. That was rough. That was real rough. Expectations for Chase Claypool given the quarterback situation. I think it has more to do with the offense than the quarterback. I trust these quarterbacks. I might not trust these quarterbacks to go win a Super Bowl, but I trust Mitchell Trubisky and Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph enough to win games. The offense is where I see Chase Claypool shining in 2022. It allows him to have way more time with the ball in his hands instead of just running go routes and being the big guy that's supposed to go up and get it. Chase Claypool operates best when he has the ball in space. We've seen that his entire career, pro and college. I think that expectations this season should be high for a dude who now has an opportunity to make plays instead of just being a one route concept type of guy. We've seen Chase Claypool in the past be explosive. He's got a ton of speed. He's a big body. He could move so well for a dude who is his size. I think the offense really suits him well. But that wasn't the question. The question was the quarterback play. So let's go through the quarterbacks. Mitchell Trubisky is the most comfortable in the pocket, obviously. He makes moves. He allows himself to go deep because that's the type of guy that he is. We've seen it time and time again. I think Mitchell Trubisky helps Chase Claypool in the fact that he allows him to utilize his entire skill set. He allows him to play deep down the field while also being a utilized piece in the middle of the field on shorter routes. I could see Mitchell Trubisky and Chase Claypool really developing well. On top of that, their chemistry is already there. Their connection off the field's already there. We've seen a lot from these two. Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett makes his best plays on the move. That's going to help wide receivers who operate best in open space. You get Chase Claypool the ball after his route develops, collapses, creates his own style, route, whatever you want to say. Once Chase Claypool hits that second, I got to go find open space, and he finds that open space, and Kenny Pickett gets him the ball, we'll see a lot of splash plays out of Chase Claypool. I think Kenny Pickett allows all of these wide receivers to really utilize their best talents because he works best when the pocket collapses and he has to move away from the middle of the field. That's when Kenny really operates the best. Mason Rudolph is a check down machine, and that might be nothing glamorous for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it might lead to a lot of really short passes, but it will allow Chase Claypool to catch the football on shorter routes and make moves. That might not be the best option for the Steelers, but it certainly allows them to utilize Chase Claypool's skill set way more than they have in the past. How afraid are the Pittsburgh Steelers of Jacoby Brissett? I would say 0% afraid. If anything, Minkah Fitzpatrick is licking his chops on an opportunity to return another interception to the house against Jacoby Brissett. Now the Steelers get to play him twice a season. Easy money for the Steelers defense. Jacoby Brissett doesn't work well under pressure. He's never really had a super successful career. Now, granted, Jacoby Brissett is a prime backup, somebody that I would love to have on a football team if I needed somebody to sit behind my starting quarterback and come in on a dire situation. Unfortunately, it looks like the Cleveland Browns' dire situation is going to last an entire season, if not more. So, Jacoby Brissett, I would say 0% afraid. If anything, very excited. The Steelers are very excited to play him twice a season. Who are the best options, in your opinion, for the Steelers to add at outside linebacker before training camp? I'm going to give you two old dudes, Jason Pierre-Paul and Justin Houston. Justin Houston is still a menace in the NFL. The dude is 33 years old and still plays like a superstar from time to time. Last year, he had a great year for the Baltimore Ravens. The year before that, he had a great year for the Kansas City Chiefs. It doesn't seem like he's slowing down. At 0 point, should the Steelers be comfortable with who they have at outside linebacker? They need another Melvin Ingram. We saw how effective that was. You can't expect Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt to be on the field every snap for an entire season. When you go as hard as those guys do, especially TJ Watt, who goes 120 miles an hour every time he touches a football field, things are going to happen. Injuries are going to happen. You have to have that backup option. Justin Houston and James Pierre-Paul are easily my top two choices. More on that. Justin Houston allows the Steelers to play 3 outside linebackers. He could work in the middle of the field and on the outside. He's played both. You could put him in any of the gaps and expect him to make plays. Justin Houston is a name the Steelers should already be calling. They should have been calling. I think the problem here is that Justin Houston, even at 33 years old, isn't looking to play a depth piece role. And I think the Steelers want Jannard Avery to be that backup. I haven't even seen Avery in a uniform yet, so I can't say whether or not he's going to be good. But as a guy who came to the Steelers as a tweener between inside linebacker and outside linebacker, expectations are not very high. You have to go add a superstar. James Pierre-Paul, Justin Houston both have gas left in the tank. They'd be great for a season. That's all you need. Focus on it again next offseason. But right now, those are easily the best options at outside linebacker. Do you think moving forward, Kevin Dotson or Kendrick Green is the long-term solution for left guard, or do you think next draft the Steelers address, or maybe even free agency, left guard in hopes to find another option opposite of James Daniels? I want to say it's too early to tell. Kevin Dotson is a dude that the Steelers have looked at for 2 years now and said, you can be the key piece to our offensive line. The problem is that they hoped Kendrick Green was a center, and he's not. That's the bullet that bit them in the butt. It is what it is. You move on. I think Kendrick Green still has an opportunity in the NFL. I still think that he's a valuable asset to this team, and he will be utilized this season. Kevin Dotson, if he stays healthy, is a good football player. We've seen it time and time again. He just can't stay healthy. So I think it's too early to tell. You have to give Dotson and Kendrick Green the season to see what's going on. Luckily, Kevin Dotson still has 2 more years left on his contract. Kendrick Green, still has 3 more years left on his contract. Those are 2 guys that you rock with until they're gone. But if you see this season that they need competition, you go out and draft somebody. My focus, however, would be on tackle, because I'm not sure that Chuks Okorafor or Dan Moore Jr. is going to show you that they are the piece of the puzzle that you want on the outside moving forward. Do the Steelers have a quarterback 1 or a bunch of CB2s? Who do you think will step up and fill Joe Hayden's role? What about the O-line? Anyone stepping up to be the leader? All young guys there. Can Diontae Johnson take the next step and be a true wide receiver 1, or will he regress? Also, when does KP start? Not sure who KP is. Maybe that'll click as I'm answering this question. Cornerback 1. I don't think the Steelers have a defined cornerback 1 like they did in Joe Hayden, but I think they're banking on Ahkello Witherspoon to be that guy. He has all the swagger, he has all the intangibles, and he has all the physical qualities to be a true superstar on the outside. You saw it at the last 6 games of the season last year. The dude put up numbers. He didn't allow anything. Ahkello Witherspoon is the guy that the Steelers are banking on to be their next star corner. Will it happen? I don't know. It's too early to tell, but he is the key piece to that puzzle. Levi Wallace and Cam Sutton are so slept on. It's crazy. You're not going to get a bunch of athleticism between either of them, and I think that's an issue, but you're going to get reliability. Both of those guys are dogs, and they play like dogs. They understand the defense. They understand their physical attributes and how to utilize their skill set to play well in this league. I think both of those two are going to have good seasons. And I think Akella Witherspoon is going to take on a big role in 2022. And only time will tell if he's truly ready to be that superstar on the outside or if the Steelers need to address it again next offseason. The offensive line. James Daniels became the instant leader within that group. Kevin Dotson told me day one, as soon as James came in here, he was a leader. The dude's 24 years old. That's remarkable. He is the piece, the anchor to an offensive line that you push moving forward. The Steelers want this guy to be around forever. I get that his deal is team-friendly right now and could be eliminated very easily. You want James Daniels to work out because that dude is the building block for this offensive line moving forward. When it comes to Diontae Johnson, people are sleeping on Diontae Johnson. If it was me and I was building a football team, I'm paying Diontae Johnson $20 million a year. I've said that time and time again. That being said, I understand if you don't. I understand if the Steelers decide to move on. Diontae Johnson, in my opinion, is a wide receiver one. He's a very valuable piece to a football team. People want to make a bunch of excuses of why he's not. 3 drops, in my opinion, is something you could overcome. Year 3 in the NFL, when you struggle with 3 drops, something you could overcome. I expect Diontae Johnson to not sign a contract this offseason, show the entire NFL that he is a superstar at wide receiver, to take another super significant jump forward in talent and on-play performance or on-field performance. And next season, he's going to cash in anywhere else. Somebody tossed out Green Bay for like $95 million. I could easily see it. That dude is going to get the bag, and he deserves every single penny. I think Diontae Johnson takes a major step forward in 2022. All right, and I had to look up who KP is, but Kenny Pickett, obviously, that's my bad there. Kenny Pickett, in my opinion, still has an opportunity to start this season, but I think that Mitchell Trubisky is the guy until proven otherwise. That all depends on performance. The Steelers aren't going to go 2-6 and be comfortable with that season. If the Steelers start slow with Mitchell Trubisky as the starter, Kenny Pickett will get his opportunity. I just posted a video not long ago about how Mason Rudolph is expected to be the backup according to Mark Caboli. I don't believe that for a second. I think that Kenny Pickett and Mitchell Trubisky have similar skill sets. I think that Mitchell Trubisky is the guy that you start heading into the season. And that way, if you need to change, you don't have to change the entire offense to put a new guy at quarterback. Kenny Pickett is the dude if they need somebody. But I would say this season, if the Steelers win, Mitchell Trubisky is their guy, and there's no need to change that. And I would have some confidence in Mitchell Trubisky.